How was practice?
Yeah, it's good. I think just um, a chance to get back out there and kind of reestablish what we're trying to be as a football team. I think it's one of those games that you just look back and be like, man, we hurt ourselves. And I think it's one of those things. Just get back to focus on us and new opponent and knowing that we can got to know how to not lose the game on ourselves before we go win it.
You're top 5 in passing yards, top 10 in touchdowns. I'm just curious, do you pay attention to the stats? Does that stuff matter to you at all?
I think winning matters to me. I think that's the main goal. Why you play, why I play this position, why I play this sport. I think quarterbacks the ultimate kind of stat is win. So I think that's the biggest thing that I focus on. And if that's throwing 10 touchdowns in a game or throwing one pass in a game, just trying to win.
Do you like going up against Christian Gonzalez in practice?
Yeah, Gonzo. I mean, since the day I got here, it's always good to have somebody and him and CD on the other side of the ball that make it challenging, to make throws that don't make it easy. And I think that's things where you develop with guys on my side of the ball a different kind of level, like above the next. When he's making throws difficult, he's making this route difficult. Back shoulders on go routes and little things like that. He's he's a great player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him when he gets back.
How's he look?
Yeah, I think he's got some swag to him. He's always got swag, so I always try to find time to ask him, hey, what can I do to up my swag? Because I don't have much out there. But no, Gonzo, every time he's smooth. Y'all seen him play. He's smooth. He's patient. He's one of the best in the game. So.
What does it mean for the chance to play against your hometown team?
Yeah, I think it's different playing up here. Going back to Charlotte would have been different. But going against the team that I grew up watching, grew up cheering for, and a lot of great memories in that stadium back in Bank of America. So it's a little different, but at the same time, it's still just it's another week in the NFL, and none of the same players that I grew up playing for besides the long snapper still there. So.
Is it at all encouraging that the mistakes from last week, the turnovers? Do you view those as relatively easy fixes, and are you encouraged by that? Hey, if we can just hold on to the ball, we've got something.
Yeah, like I said, not beating ourselves. That's the big thing, and that's the it's turnovers. Turnovers in this league are such a big deal. It's one of those things that we can clean up. And I think hold on to the football and me holding on the pocket and the running backs is something that I do think is fixable. I think it's something that you try to overemphasize, and usually when we overemphasize things, you fix it. And I think something throughout the week is just trying to do the extra little things to protect it, and me getting in the pocket, ensuring 2 hands on it, and just knowing the play's over.
Drake, when you look at this team, whether it's in practice or during the games, do you think about how much better this team can be, or maybe even should be, when you want?
I wouldn't say that. I just trying to push the guys to get to that level. I know what we can do, and I still feel like we haven't played our best football, and that's what's promising ahead. And I think once we do, we kind of talk about stringing some plays together in a practice or stringing a drive together. You see glimpses of it, but that's the challenging part of this league, and that's what's the fun part about it, of getting to that level and hoping to get that level when the games matter, and trying to get a push into the postseason or things like that. So that's what we're trying to build towards, and just keep going at it every week.
Just curious, when you dive into an opponent's film, you're doing it on your own, what's the difference in year 2 for you as opposed to last year, if there is one that you study and you're trying to get a beat early on the Panthers defense?
Yeah, I think first off, it's kind of just knowing the defensive coordinator kind of in the background. You kind of know more names now and know what tree he's from and know things like that. And from there, just trying to watch players more. Players know that coverage matters, but players and personnel matters just as much. And knowing the guys up front you need to worry about, or the run game and things like that, or the guys hey, playing this coverage is what he likes to do, or he's real aggressive when he gets backside and he's in man, things like that. So just trying to study players, and just as much as and just every week, trying to play quarterback, you're trying to see what they're in before they show it.
What do you think of their corner, specifically J.C. Horn?
Yeah, they're great players. J.C. Horn, he played at a Carolina school, so know him. Grew up, and he's a little older than me, but obviously a great player. He's made some plays this year, and he's one of those guys backside that is going to play into the boundary and make it tough. He's physical. He can play. He's patient. He's got good ball skills. So he's one of those guys that he's going to make it tough, and I think it's something that you can't kind of eliminate that part of the field, but you got to be careful with him. And on the other side, number 2 is a good player as well.
Drake, we've seen.
Two of Stefon Diggs' 3 catches on Sunday resulted in first downs, I believe. You've talked about what a great teammate he is. Where's your level of trust with him, especially situationally on the field?
Yeah, we try to put him in circumstances where he's, getting the ball and an option to get the ball on big plays. Had a big third down catch. The first third down we had, I probably should have thrown it to him. Little things like that. We had a fourth down against Miami. He's making plays, so he's in positions on key downs to make plays. And I'm got full trust in him, and he's just keeps showing it every week. And I need to try to give him the ball more. I told him that today.
Drake, when you talk about knowing when the play is over, is that just strictly a field thing? Because obviously you have the ability to create and extend. Yeah. And then sometimes, as you found out, it kind of can lead to trouble too.
Yeah, you just we talk about in the quarterback room. Kind of when something doesn't feel right. Whether in the pocket or with this play. All right, something I need to do, whether it's throw it away or get what I can to get down. Just kind of that kind of stop clock in your head and that shot clock. You just know, hey, something doesn't feel right. All right, now some quarterbacks split their feet. I think sometimes you just feel like, okay, got to do something. So just knowing that.
When it comes to the Panthers, what is your favorite all-time memory?
Favorite all-time memory? Ooh, that's a good question. I went to the Super Bowl when they lost to Peyton Manning, and then that was tough. But just that season. And, I think there was 15-1. I was at that NFC Championship game at home. Big time win, and just the being a fan of Cam, I think was probably the biggest memory. Him coming out here and doing the airplane and hitting the cam. So just little things like that, and getting to know him later on and playing him. He coaches 7-on-7 team and playing him and playing against them and seeing stuff like that. So just getting to know some of the players around has been pretty cool.
Right, week 4 now. I feel like you're getting more comfortable. Did you have to get more comfortable just speaking up during game planning meetings with Coach McDaniels and Trevor?
Yeah, I think they're both they're both great at doing stuff that I'm comfortable with, and I think that just continues to go more and more as we establish kind of what we are as an offense and on offense, and I think. Just finding ways throughout the week where I can, mark this on the call sheet. Hey, I may like this out of this formation, or maybe like this in the gun instead of under center. Just little things like that to just help him play more comfortable. At the end of the day, Coach McDaniels and Vrabel are all about that, and I just continue to communicate, and that's only going to build throughout the year.
You talked about kind of the differences between last year and this season, looking at defense and studying tape. Is your understanding of the defensive coordinator any different? Meaning, do you know his background? Why he calls certain things. Is that the level that you're getting to, or are you just saying?
Yeah, I think it's early. I try to keep the notebooks from last year. I try to, I'm a pen and paper guy, so I try to keep a stash of them. Jacoby was big on, kind of let me know that at a young age, keeping an idea of, hey, this is his tree, or hey, this is what he like to do, or he's been here, go back and watch some games there, or just little things like that. Just trying to soak up as as much as I can from other players, other coaches who have ideas. And Coach McDaniel's got game plan notebooks from years ago, so it's pretty cool to look back, and it's always a little different because they evolve and stuff like that. So just be ready for that.
Thanks, Drake.
Thank you.